Wait, let me get my. I got a lot of questions here for Big Z. Hold on here. There we go. This guy better button up today because we got you going here, boss. Without further ado, we bring our friend in, Big Z, Zander Krause, right now in another power-packed day. And guess what we got today, man? We got the greatness of Mr. Woolen with a press conference today.
This sounds like more like I have an interrogation coming than I have a sports segment.
Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't listen to it. I'm working over here. I didn't tune in to hear what Tariq Woolen had to say. I did not. No, I didn't even go on X and look, to be honest with you. I'll check it out after the show.
What do you make of the fact that you're only paying him $12 million a year?
That's what he's earned. I mean, he hasn't had the best last couple of years in terms of what, a $30 million guy would get. He had a good rookie year, but he's been look. I don't want to get too caught up in this guy. I mean, we had Adoree Jackson back there last year, and he was the number one concern I heard from everybody all year in the defense. I mean, I don't think Tariq Woolen is going to be the best, corner ever. But I also think it's going to be an upgrade from what you had last year to Adoree Jackson. And do you have some concerns in terms of the discipline stuff? Maybe a little bit, but, I don't need but like you always say, dude, you ring in my head when people bring this shit up to me. You don't win Super Bowls with choir boys.
True.
All right, you got a dude who's got a little bit of fire, who takes some penalties. All right. I mean, figure out how to deal with it, figure out how to manage it properly and channel it properly. So I feel pretty good about the Woolen signing, honestly. I think it's a good low risk sign. I think the price is good. And I don't think we need him to be a world beater, man. He's got 2 all pros next to him, Cooper and Quinion. So I think he's in a good spot.
So what do you make of your boy being injured heading into OTA's mini camp in the entire offseason?
Yeah, I'm with
Jihad Campbell.
I'm with you on this. I mean, I said that this morning, and John's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean, no problem? He's a rookie. He's played 8 games in his career. He's coming off his rookie year. So I don't think it's very good, Sills. It's like ironic how it plays out. Honest Vic, I said, strikes again is how I worded it this morning. But it's like the Wednesday after the Tuesday that we lose Nakobe Dean, we learned that Jihad Campbell is going to be out all summer. It's like it almost is like irony slaps you in the face sometimes. You let Nakobe walk, and then boom, we learn Jihad is out. I don't think it'll be a problem for the year, but where I think you're right is for a learning player. And look, this isn't like Darius Slay or something. Like a veteran player is out for the summer. It's a young player who's going to be a first-time starter who you would think would be, operating at the drawing board all year. Same thing happened with Carter last year. If you remember, he didn't play a lot in the offseason, didn't do a lot in the offseason because he had the injury. Well, how did his season go? So I think there's some concern there. I don't think it's a huge concern, but I definitely think it's something to keep an eye on.
Okay, let me ask you this then, too. Will there be a downgrade from Jihad Campbell taking over for Nakobe Dean?
Well, was there a downgrade in week 1 through 8 last year?
I don't think the level of play was when Nakobe was in there.
I think that's
fair. I think when Nakobe got in there, the defense elevated. Do you not think that too?
I do, but remember, multiple things happened there. That's when Jalen Phillips got here. So a couple different things happened to help that out. But yeah, I think that's fair to say. And look, you said it earlier.
He may be better in 2 years, what I'm saying. But because I'm curious, I want to know if you think that this coming season this year.
No, I don't think he's going to be better than Nakobe right out of the chute. I think he's got bigger upside than Nakobe, though. But, Nakobe was a good player, but Nakobe missed a lot of games, and I think that's what people are kind of going to harp on, So I don't think he's going to be – I don't think it's a significant enough drop-off to be concerned about it. But to answer your question, I don't think he'll be right where Nakobe was. Remember, it took Nakobe a little bit too, to learn the position, to really – and Nakobe, I believe, has really good football IQ, just the way he plays. So Will Jihad have that? Here's my concern on the linebackers, if you want my concern. And it's not really a concern. It's more just, let's see how this plays out and what Vic does. To me, Zach Bond and Jihad Campbell are both natural will linebackers. They're not natural Mike linebackers. Nakobe Dean is a natural middle linebacker. He's got that old school feel. He's a little smaller than the old school guys, but he has that old school middle linebacker approach where he manages, he calls everything out. He's the vocal guy. You look at Bond and Campbell, they both have that more versatile skill set, kind of the newer age linebacker, will linebackers that you can use in a lot of different areas, better in coverage, faster, things like that. Maybe you can rush them off the edge here and there. You have that with Campbell and Bond. You don't have that with Dean, and now with the loss of Dean, who plays the mic? It's going to be Bond because that's who played it last year. But, is that a concern at all? Probably not. I think you're probably good, but it's something to keep an eye on.
Okay, I want to do this with you one more time, if you don't mind. I want to talk to you about the future here. How many more years do you think Jordan Mailata's got?
Mailata's, I think, a wild card, but I think 3+.
3+. I think 5, but 3+.
Yeah, 5 is good. All right, that's where I think too.
5. How about Landon Dickerson?
2 max.
2.
Wait, I don't know. Let's decipher. The guy took a new contract today. He got rid of his final year, agreed to it, and agreed to take a pay cut. When's the last time you've seen a player go
never,
to never. That's never. It doesn't happen. No. And this is coming after the report that he thought about retirement. Landon did. My biggest concern about him is mental. What's he thinking if that's the approach he's taking this offseason?
I think he wants out.
I don't know that he wants out. I think he's questioning.
No, not out. I don't think he wants out of the game.
I just think he's questioning his ability. I don't think he wants out. I think he's questioning how effective he can be as a player.
When you taking less money and less years of guaranteed money,
yeah, that's crazy.
That means you were like talked into playing this year.
Yeah, that's wild to me. But
hey, Zander, come on back. Hey, by the way, it's one thing for your boss to come to you and say that. It's another thing for you to, hey, Z, I want you to cut my money. And I want you, Big Sills, I'm going to fight for that son of a bitch, right? You don't do that, Zander. You don't go to your boss and tell your boss, hey, I'll take a pay cut. Bro, he's out. Okay, so
yeah, it's like I'm winding down. I'll take I'll take a few less peanuts this year, and we'll wind this sucker down. I don't know. I wasn't too happy to hear that about. Now the good news is we're Eagle fans, not Landon Dickerson fans, and they are in a better position to move on if that does happen.
Okay, Mr. Buttuck from Columbia, Cam Jurgens. How many years do you think Mr. Buttuck has?
I think 3 is pretty optimistic.
I think 2.
Yeah, I think 2 is probably closer to what it's going to be. Now, these are young players, but like Landon's 27.
I'll ask you
one other question. 2 for Cam? Wait, you think 2 in the NFL or you think 2 in Philly?
2 in Philly.
All right. I think that's fair. 2 in Philly.
Livingston Steen. I'm probably going to go.
I think he's done. This is his last year, right, in Philly?
Yeah, Livingston Steen 1.
He's gone, yeah.
Lane, what about him?
Lane's got 1 left.
Okay, so let me get this right here. Okay, so Mailata's got, I'm with you, I think 5 years. So Landon's got 1. Cam's got 2. Steen's got 1, and Lane's got 1. Bro, where you going here? I mean, your offensive line. I mean, dude, you are making and you got rid of Stoutland and you brought in
that's the biggest
Chris
concern.
Cooper to do this shit.
Well, I think that's the caveat on Mailata, Sills, that you didn't throw in there. Mailata looks like he can play 5 more years, but I don't know. He's only played football ever in his life with 1 offensive line coach and 1 really coach that's hands-on with him, and that's Jeff Stoutland. Everybody else, or everything else in his career, that's what he knows. So I wonder what the loss of Stoutland means for him, and if that changes how long he wants to play into the future.
How close do you think Landon Dickerson came to retiring this year?
Considering what we've learned, I think maybe pretty close. Maybe pretty close. Definitely clearly had a thought process about it. I mean, and then he decided to go to Medellin and promote some company. The more I think about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that like shammy? Like,
yeah.
These guys have a terrible year. Wait, let's just run this down real quick. And I'm not even trying to
find a
on
local car. Wait a minute.
I don't have a problem with them trying to make some money.
Wait, Zander, you can't find a local car dealership that you can go and promote. You got to go.
No, even worse. It's like you have a bad year this year. They both knew this. Eagle fans knew it. Everybody knows it. And what do? Like, they capitalize on it. They're like, everybody knows we had a bad year, so let's go promote that we're going to get our body fixed in Medellin, Colombia, for some random company. I am now of the belief that I don't even know if they got stem cells. I don't buy it. It might be a straight up. They got a check to go down there and get some footage in front of Prince. They're down in Medellin, Colombia. They got the booger sugar hanging off their nose on the way out.
So I got another one here for you, Z. Hold on. I'm looking for something. Hang on. Wait, one more page. Hold on. So what's like the plan after the Jalen Phillips deal falls through?
What was that? What is that you're doing? Is that you looking for the plan?
Yeah. I'm looking for the plan.
He's listening to the podcast. He's flipping through his paper notes. Looking for the Eagles' plan. Let's see, dude. It's March 12th.
Okay.
Don't you gotta give it I like Wayne. Wayne's my guy. He was in here earlier and he's like, "Hey, Sills, I love you, brother, but you're criticizing the cake and it hasn't even been cooked yet.
Okay.
They put the thing in the blender bowl and you're over there chirping at it. Okay. The eggs are still raw, brother."
Okay. So, well then let's take a look at some of the options you have. So right now, what do you make of Joey Bosa? No? Okay. Let's go to the next choice. How about Jonathan Allen? What do you make of him? He just
signed today.
Oh, he signed today. That's right, with the Bengals. He's off now. Who's the other stiff that's left? Let's see here.
Bryce Huff retired today.
But thanks because of the Eagles.
Oh, nice money. Wait, ready? He's made $40 million in his career, $26 million from the Birds.
Yeah. Hey, Z, what I'm looking for here is here's the guys
He's starting a new company, Bryce Huff.
What's it called? Puffin Stuff?
No. It's called Neighborstone, which will build safety infrastructure to help with fire risk on lithium-ion batteries. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That's a genius business.
It is.
The use of lithium-ion batteries right now in the world is catapulting. Energy, get it. You want to get rich right now? Go into energy, man. Energy is going to be insane with what's happening in the world.
That's one of the major things that BlackRock is investing in, actually.
No, yeah, well, that's why I'm interested in getting my own energy. I'm acquiring generators and solar and whatever I got to do. I got to make my own energy.
Well, I'm looking for some energy here out of this last free agency list here. Yeah, so here's Joey Bosa. Let's see. You don't like Joey Bosa. AJ Epenza, is that his name from the Bills?
Yeah, AJ Epenza. Yeah.
What about him? 6'6", 260, 24.5 sacks. 4 interceptions in 6 years. What about him? 27 years old.
I thought he signed, no?
Okay. I got this Bledsoe list 2 days ago. So he may have. Jonathan Allen's out.
Let me look if he signed.
How about Cameron Jordan? 37 years old. He had 10.5 sacks last year. Rotation guy. Like a Calais Campbell type dude.
That's all right.
Okay.
What was his name?
Cameron Jordan.
Oh, he's old, though. How old is Cam Jordan now?
37, dude. He had 10.5 sacks last year.
Holy shit, he did?
Yeah.
10.5 sacks at 37?
He had 10.5 sacks last year.
Holy moly.
6'5", 290.
Damn, that's impressive, man. What's that guy's career look like? 10.5 sacks.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Is he? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh,
I was going to say, he might be teetering on that.
I think he's a 10-time Pro Bowler.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's his most sacks since 2021.
Yeah. Yep. Bro. Look at his resume.
Yeah, that's a risk. That's risky business, though. He had 8.5, 2, 4, and then he had 10.5 last year at 36.
Okay. Well, here's what you're down to.
I don't know.
37-year-old Cameron Jordan, Jonathan Allen, and Joey Bosa.
Dude, what? Why? You
wait, early. You said that it's early in the process, and I'm like,
can't trade for somebody.
Wait, okay, I'm getting there. So free agency's out now, right?
It's close to out.
Close to out.
Well, let's see who gets released.
Okay.
Dude,
like June 1
get released every day.
Right. June 1, casualties of the cap.
I mean,
that's
there's
still there.
Options. Yeah, let's wait and
that's
see.
Still there. All right. So now we have to go into the trade department, right?
Yeah.
If you want, by the way, an edge setter, not an edge rusher. We're looking for an edge setter for Vic's system, right?
I'm looking for anybody right now.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So in the last couple of years here, what you're going to do is you're going to lose Phillips, you're going to lose a 3, and you're going to pay another 3 and bring a guy in. Isn't that an indictment a little bit on how you draft at the edge in that building, on how you've handled that position? The only people that you've really ever brought in were people that were free agents, or you have signs or trades. You think that's a little bit of an indictment on how you draft there at that position?
Well, I don't know that it's an indictment, but they have to be better at that spot. I mean, Nolan Smith didn't pan out. That's the number 1, dude.
Yeah.
Look at Jalen Hurts. He's a 3rd. Is he a good draft pick?
I think he's getting there. Yes.
Was Josh Sweat a good draft pick?
Absolutely.
So it's really been Nolan. I mean, they've had issues though. You're right. Derek Barnett, Nolan Smith. Now Barnett's still playing. I mean, he's played better in 10 and 10. And hey, look, I used to say this to Eagle fans, and they used to get pissed off at me. I never had a bad taste in my mouth about Barnett.
I never thought he was that shitty, man.
Well, no, it's not that he wasn't that shitty. I mean, he never lived up to it.
It was the bonehead mistakes and the penalties and stupid shit at uncool
time. No, but don't you remember what he's responsible for in Eagle Land?
Yeah, because didn't he, what was it, in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he poked the ball free for in the Super Bowl on Brady.
Yeah, Brady.
So, no, not poked it free. That was BJ. Scooped up the strip sack. Okay,
so I want to read this one. I got another one last.
I can hear. I know this tone well. I know this tone well right now.
All right.
Are you in the mode of make Zander believe that the sky has fallen on March 12th?
No, that's a really great take. Here, I'm going to write that down. Zander just said March 12th. Okay, so let me please hang on 2 seconds, Zander. I got to do, because I can't do my own math. You know that. So let's see here.
I can't do my own math.
January 11th to March 12th. How many days is that?
Load up an AI or something, dude. It'll do every math problem you ever had.
Here's what you've done in the last 60 days. You lost to the Niners in the wild card game. You fired Kevin Patullo. You kicked out Jeff Stoutland. You have an intern coaching staff on offense, inexperience. You extended Jordan Davis. You lose 3 starters on defense. You signed Tariq Woolen. Jihad Campbell will miss the entire exhibition season, off-season, I should say. That's what's happened in the last. And Landon Dickerson had to be begged to come back and play. this is the last 60 days. How's your GM doing the last 2 years?
I've already answered this.
I want to hear it again.
I got shredded for it, but I was correct. He's been mediocre since the end of the Super Bowl, when the infamous beer can bonked him in the dome piece. He has been mediocre. He's been mediocre.
Do you have concerns over Nakobe and Campbell both being injured too in the draft, coming into the draft, and now they're both showing signs of injuries?
It's true. Remember, Landon had injury concerns coming out too.
He gave you at least 5 great years.
I don't think Cam Jurgens did, though, right?
Cam gave you 2 good years. What has happened to the Philadelphia Eagles since that famous February 9th day when they beat the Kansas City Chiefs up? What's happened, dude? It's gone the other. Hey, do you still feel like still 10-win team?
I'll ask you. Do you think they still have the talent on the team to be a 10-win football team? I mean, let's just run through it real quick. Ready? Defense right now, you have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ajomo, Jalix Hunt, and Nolan Smith, Bond and Campbell, Quinion, Cooper, and Tariq Woolen with Makuba right now. So big question marks at safety. You look at offensive side of the ball, you have Hurts, Barkley, Mailata, Dickerson, Jurgens, Steen, Lane Johnson, Grant Calcaterra, Johnny Munt, A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, and Darius Cooper. I think that's a 10-win football. I don't think it's a great football team, but I don't think it's a bad football team.
All right. I'll honestly answer this here without being snarty. Here's how you could get back to being one of those 5 teams in the sandbox. You got to get depth on O-line, bro.
I agree.
Your O-line depth is horseshit right now. All these guys that they've drafted and how he's kept, they've not panned out to be anything. Getting Goddard back would be a big deal, I think, because the room would be decent.
The only thing I don't like about that is it's the same tight end room as last year, basically.
So what were you expecting with the new offense? You expecting that to be like another major?
Yeah, update? I guess we don't want to change too much. I think your point about the coaches is very good. I mean, I don't really understand how they assembled this many coaches and decided to just go the least experienced route as possible on almost all of them. But look, that's what they're going to do. Lucky for us, the players are more important, but coaches are still really important. And, I hope that's not a reason that they can't reach expectations.
Do you see what's happened to your team in the last 3 years? No, and I don't mean it bad, because it is a product of winning.
Yeah, it's harder to stay at the top, 100%.
What's happened is this. You had those 8 guys that I talk about all the time. So you move off of those dudes, but look at what you did. The backups that you really had that were really good, those are now your starters. I think your biggest problem on your football team right now, look at the depth on your defense. You have no end depth at all. Your linebacker depth looks pretty good, even with Campbell being, but look at your corner depth. I mean, Carter's okay. Your safety depth is terrible. I mean, the depth of the football team has been disintegrated because of the success of the team. You can't keep 3 deep. And, that's just impossible in today's NFL. The problem with the Eagles is that you've been elevating all of your good players up. Well, guess what?
Do you think
that shelf gets empty after a while?
Yeah, I agree. Do you think the perception of the Eagles organization is changing for both players and coaches?
No. I think they do things right. I think what's happened is the success of the team has really it's diminished the talent of the team. Look, when you say Howie's drafted well, okay, he has, but all those players are moving on. Nakobe's moving on. Josh Sweat moved on. Milton moved on. You moved Booker. You hit on Isaiah being a really good player. You moved on. Then you're moving up Keely. Keely didn't pan out. Nolan didn't pan out. If he misses on 2 or 3 draft picks because of the depth not being good on the team, Xander, you can have the Jordan Davises and the Jalen Carters all you want. If you don't have the unit, like I said to you the other day, you didn't have any Pro Bowlers on that 24 team. You had one guy. You had Zach Bond.
Dude, I know you're pointing out the guys that left, but in the last 5 years, we still have probably north of 10 starters.
Here.
I'll do it right now. I got it pulled up. 21, you had DeVonta Smith, Landon Dickerson. Now Milton Williams walked. Kenny Gainwell walked.
But that side's underproduced in the last 2 years.
22, you have Jordan Davis, Cam Jurgens. Nakobe Dean just walked. Grant Calcaterra just re-signed. 23, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen. That's 3 start. Moro Ajomo, that's 4 starters right there.
Okay.
You also have Sidney Brown, Keely.
Moro Ajomo is a new starter. Nolan Smith is a new starter from.
No. Moro Ajomo is not a new starter. He was a starter last year
on the Super Bowl team.
No, the Super Bowl team was.
Oh, you're talking about. I'm talking about from the Super Bowl team. I'm talking about starters from the Super Bowl. I'm just
looking at the draft picks. I mean, you pointed out the guys that left. I'm just saying there's still quite a bit. I think Cooper Quinion, Jalix Hunt.
Let's go
from 3 starters.
Let's go from the Super Bowl team. DeJean, Q, Makuba wasn't here. Sidney's not a starter. Woolen wasn't a starter. Jalix Hunt wasn't a starter. Campbell wasn't a starter. Bond was. Smith was, I believe, in that game. Carter was, and Davis was. I mean, the offense, yes, all the starters are back, but they're underachieving. And they're getting older. Hey, I do have a question on this. How much do you think that the tush push aged that O-line?
Wow.
How much do you think it drove that thing to being really more of an injury issue than what people thought? You know what's funny, Xander? Everyone thought it was going to be maybe people are right in the end. Because all these guys that played on that line, whether you're the guy in Los Angeles too, right? He got banged up all year. The guy you had, Mekhi Becton.
Yep. He got cut too. He's on the open market right now. Eagles, I don't think they're interested in him. But yeah, I mean, I think it's been a huge impact on him. I mean, remember the Jason Kelsey comment? It took years off my career, and now you see Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, who are both, injured to a pretty extreme extent for their age, I would say. I mean, so. I think it's been a big impact, Sills, and overall, maybe John was right years ago when he said, just freaking QB sneak it. You'll be just as good at it, because you got the quarterback, obviously, who, that's his bread and butter. So, yeah, I think overall it was a net negative. Well, I don't know if I could say that. They did win a Super Bowl that year. Yeah, so I don't think it was a net negative, but it certainly had its ramifications.
As we're now, I looked into that, like you said, with that Albert Breer. Bro. He's naming teams. He's going through agents, and now he's going through podcasts. AJ Brown.
How about the 4 teams AJ put out? I thought that were hilarious.
Chargers, Herbert.
Chargers, Bills, and
right. Allen was Mahomes, and it was New England.
New England.
You still feeling good about him being on the team?
I'm AJ Brown. I got my 5,000 yards. I got my 32 million. And now, because I didn't get enough yards the last 2 seasons, you have to send me to a perennial Super Bowl contender in the AFC. AJ Brown, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. I mean, seriously. The more this story goes, man, the more it looks worse for AJ Brown.
Do they move him?
Nah. I don't know. I'm so torn on this. If the guy wants out so bad, then I guess move on from him. But I don't think you're going to be better.
So now we see that bullshit with Max Crosby. I love the Raiders. This guy's like 14 years old and a 30.
He's always like the Raiders, though. That he never ended with them on bad terms.
Bro, he had a bitching. He had a
well, it was, but that wasn't about the organization or the fans or anything like that. That was about the coaching.
They were pissed off. They benched him the last 2 weeks of the season, dude.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to get over it, man. I mean, I don't think I wouldn't hold that on Max Crosby.
But you know what I think they did? They both went like this. Hey, Max, I'm not trading you for second rounders. And Max went like this. You're right. I'm staying. And I think everybody went like this. let's have a big hug here, and we're going to move on. Because, dude, if I'm the Raiders and that came back on what Baltimore did, I'm not moving that guy for twos.
Dude, how good is that defense going to be this year? If they keep Max Crosby, they got Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean. They got some good players over there, dude. I think they signed Eric Stokes. They signed a couple other guys on that defensive side of the ball. I mean, I think that's going to be a pretty good unit.
Tyler Linderbaum as a center.
Yeah.
They're going to get the quarterback from Indiana. They got a lot of draft picks. They got a ton of money, too.
I can't tell if Mendoza is going to be a good NFL quarterback.
Can't either yet. I don't know yet.
I was rewatching some of his tape.
Talent. I see third-round talent, but
me too. But he does have something about him that yeah. I mean, you are gravitated to him, but from a straight talent perspective, it's not there. I mean, the arm, nothing really about it is all that. Doesn't wow you like crazy on the tape. So
you sound like you're talking about Jalen Hurts. A lot of stuff on the camp when you're watching him doesn't really impress you all that much.
Yeah, but I think Jalen Hurts is more of an anomaly.
The intangibles of the kid.
I think he's more of an anomaly though than the rule, Sills.
What?
I think he's more of the anomaly than the rule.
Yeah.
I mean, teams are always going to look for the talent first.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the misstep at that position.
Right. Jalen's the exception, not the rule.
Like when you look at Kyler Murray, this guy was drafted in the first round by the Oakland A's.
Talk about somebody I would not go near is Kyler Murray.
And get this. Listen to me, hero. Kyler Murray's drafted in the first round by the A's. He's drafted in the first round by the Cardinals. You're talking about one of the most gifted athletes, like, of all time. And you're like this. I don't want nothing to do with him. By the way, I didn't realize Kingsbury was there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's like an offensive assistant. You know what that means? He couldn't get a job, so he's got to go rehabilitate the image.
Well, it seems like everybody that gets into that system gets a job.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have a head coaching job in a couple of years.
So you think this team still is a team to win the East?
I think they're teetering. I think they're right there for sure. I mean, I don't think the Giants are there yet. And I don't think the Commanders are there. So I look at it as the Cowboys and the Eagles. And the Cowboys are going to have a good offense. Here's the reality that people don't want to admit or acknowledge. The Cowboys had the number one offense in football last year, and it looks like they're going to bring back basically everybody back on that offense. Doesn't mean they're all going to play as good. Doesn't mean George Pickens is going to have a career year, but they're probably going to have a top 10 offense. Probably. Most likely, I'd even say it'll probably be top 5. Now, their defense sucked last year and was brutal. But how many games did they win last year?
7.
Was that it? 7?
Yeah, I believe.
So if their defense gets incrementally better, what do they need to do to get to a 10-win team? Do you feel like they're 7-9-1. They've made?
I think they were 7-9-1.
So do you feel like they're there with the additions they made? Mark Holmes was texting me last night. He thinks they're making a big move. I mean, they traded Osa, and he thinks they're going to try and make a splash. I don't know for who, but my point in saying this is I don't think Dallas is as far back as people think. I mean, if that defense can play competent, by the way, they brought in Christian Parker from the Eagles, who was, well-liked here in Philly. They got Rashawn Gary on the edge. They have Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark as your tackles. They have a solid group. If they keep adding to it, it's fair to say they'd get a little better.
Might offer 2-1s for Myles Garrett.
The Cowboys?
Why not? I would. I mean, I would always call Cleveland and ask Cleveland what they're thinking with Garrett. You know why? Where's Cleveland going in the next 4 years?
Nowhere.
He's probably got 3 years left of top flight football.
I just don't get I don't get Eagle fans with this. Xander's corrupted. It's like,
well, because anytime you mention Cowboys, it's going to be.
Yeah, but everybody loves to be honest about the Eagles. Senor loves calling everybody nicknames because he thinks he's the smartest guy on planet Earth. Because I'm really. But Senor, why can't you be real about any other team? It's because you're a fake. You're a fake to begin with. You're a phony and a fake. If you want to be honest about the Eagles, be honest about everybody. The Cowboys right now are getting better. They're not going to be a 7-win team forever. They won 12 games back to back to back years, like 3 years ago.
3 years in a row.
So I mean, they're getting better.
Hey,
Same with you, Jimbo. Fucking with your emojis.
I do have one question about Jalen Hurts. How come they refuse to go anywhere near that contract to try to renegotiate it, to try to loosen some cap money up, and to try to, like, if they're so stuck on money right now, Zander, why don't they go to Jalen Hurts like they do to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen? Why are they not touching that contract? There's very few
Still
big time.
Dude.
What?
Still early. He signed his first contract in April.
April? He signed it 2 years ago.
I'm saying in April. That's when the contract came.
Okay.
April of 2023.
Like, why don't they free some money up? Why don't they
3
free
years
some
ago.
money up and redo his deal a little bit? How come they don't go anywhere near it?
Well, because they're not ready to commit to him for the long term yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's if they don't pay him this summer. I think it could come. It's still early in the summer, but that would be the only reason why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. The way the Eagles do business, that would be the obvious thing to do would be to extend it, kick the cap down the road, free up some cap space, and keep building the team.
And the reason I lead you here is this. Everybody in here, well, not everybody. I say half the place goes like this. AJ ain't going anywhere. Well, okay, if AJ's not going anywhere, and you're so confident AJ's not going anywhere, and I brought this up to you about 2 weeks ago, and I'll do it again now. Why not extend him? Why not extend AJ Brown, lower the money? And
because Dan, I'm not extending anybody on that offense right now. They've been underperforming for 2 years, especially in the passing game.
Bro, I'm looking to free money up for my defensive tackle I gotta pay. You got a lot of money, man. You got Q. Where are you getting all that money?
Well, that's why I'm not looking to extend offensive contracts.
Off those old linemen, right? You can't move off those old linemen.
Yeah, but you gotta squeeze it. I mean, if you extend them and you kick the cap down the road, then you're tying yourself to the same offensive players, and you're removing your flexibility for the sake of paying defensive guys. I mean, I'd rather get through the tight pinch if you need to, and then have flexibility on the other side. I'm not committing to this offense. Why? I know you wouldn't commit to this offense right now. How could anybody commit? The Eagles themselves aren't committed to it.
Yeah, but wait, you're under. I think you're misreading where I'm going here. If I restructure a contract, that makes it so I can get out from that contract, and it helps me get out of those contracts, like the Landon Dickerson deal. If I have to pay a little money to get out of some of these deals to free up money, I'm going to do that.
Well, I don't know how much they saved. I don't know how much they saved with the Dickerson deal. We'll see when the contract gets filed.
I think it's $3 million. But like you said,
no, they saved $3 million. I'm talking about cap this year.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the value of the deal is $3 million less. But is the cap savings $3 million? It might be a little more than that. I'm not sure.
See, that's where I was. I'm not. It wasn't about committing, Zander. It was more about freeing me up to get and move on from these guys. If I redo contracts, I can.
Yeah, but you got to make a long-term. You got to do a long-term commitment to get short-term relief. And when you only do that when you have great belief in the future of a player, so I get what you're saying. I need cap relief so I can pay Jalen Carter, but now you're tied to Jalen Hurts for 5 years, and now you put yourself in a worse spot long term just so you could pay the guy short term. I'd rather make Jalen Carter wait, pick up the 5th-year option, get to the greener pastures on the offense without committing to him long term, and then make the move.
Okay, who in that offense right now do you want to commit to long term?
The offense right now?
Yeah.
There's not a person on that offense. Maybe DeVonta Smith as your one.
DeVonta Smith right now is the only guy.
And Mailata.
And Mailata. Okay.
I think that's a very real question. I mean,
that's
for everybody listening to answer. I mean, who do you honestly believe the Eagles should be committing to for the next 5 years? DeVonta, Mailata, and who? Some will say Jalen, which I would understand. I mean, he's been very successful as a quarterback in Philly. Can't get rid of that. But there's also deficiencies there that, many people don't want to acknowledge.
There's two dudes right now that you'd feel me too. I'm with you. That I'd feel comfortable within the next 5 years would be Smitty and Mailata. There's nobody else and that's where all your money is. Howie's got to be thinking that. He's got to be.
Yeah, I
because
agree.
when you go to the other side of the ball, hey, listen, you could say what all the shit you want about Carter. You feel pretty good about the kid, even though, this guy had a shitty year last year, and not really a shitty year, but not what we thought. You love what Davis did. You love you're totally committed to DeJean, right? And Q. You're completely committed to those guys, right? I mean, there's certain guys on that side of the ball you're completely committed to.
Yeah.
On offense, you're not committed to.
No, well, I mean, they are right now, but they're not re-upping that commitment, and I think that's fair. I mean, they were committed to them through this point. They have been. I mean, they're all making their money. The checks are clearing on Tuesdays, aren't they? So it's I don't think it's about commitment right now. I think it's about they're hedging the future because the offense has given them every reason to hedge the future. If you want to get your contracts re-upped and you want to be committed to for the future, then on the other side of that has to come production and success on the football field, right? I mean, how can A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, and all the like want to get extensions when they're the 25th ranked offense in football? I mean, that's you don't get pay raises for being bottom half in your industry. In fact, you look to be replaced. Companies look to replace people like that.
I want to ask you this since February 9th of last year. I want you to name me the things that Howie's done well. Since you won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, what have they done? Good and bad. By the way, if you've got good, please, I want to hear it. What have they done well as an organization in the since February 9th, 2025?
So, obviously, the Jihad Campbell draft pick was good.
Jihad Campbell.
Nakobe was, I would say, a good second-round pick, late second-round pick. I mean, he started a lot of his games his rookie year.
Any questions on the injuries?
Yeah, definitely some. Definitely some. On both of those players, I think that's very fair to say. Okay. But in terms of just player caliber, I think they both proved that they can play in the NFL. The question is how high they can go.
Okay.
And then last year, the Saquon signing was dumb. The Juergens extension, in hindsight, was dumb. Made sense at the time, but it was dumb. The Smitty came before the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Shit, that can't be it, is it?
The Phillips
trade. Yeah, but does that look worse now that he's gone? Or no, you don't have a problem with them taking the shot?
Yeah, no, I don't. I want them taking swings here.
Yeah, I agree.
Jalen Phillips. Do you think the Jordan Davis signing?
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a little rich for me. Like I get it. John's like, well, that's not their projection.
But you wanted to keep the player. You wanted to.
I wanted to keep the player, but I don't think they needed to project him as a 3-tech when he's not.
Yeah,
he has never been.
Okay.
I mean, I saw somebody put in the stat this morning because you brought up how many snaps he played on third down.
87.
What is it, like 87?
87.
Apparently, 70 of them were on 3rd and 3 or less.
Yes. Short yardage.
AKA, he does not rush the passer.
No.
So the projection on the contract is that he's going to become that. Now, hey, hopefully he can become that. But that's a large projection to make, given him, the type of cash they gave him. So I don't know that I can call that deal a good deal yet. I think it could become a good deal. But I mean, like John said, they're going to Morrow and Jalen Carter are going to be here this year. So how many snaps is Jordan Davis going to play on third down this year? 100?
No, I think the same. So now here. Now let's do a little bit of this. So Jihad Campbell, Nakobe, and the Jalen Phillips sign. Those are the best things. Can you name any other thing that they've done since February 9th, 2025?
Let me see if I can get an Eagles 2025 offseason. Did they do anything? I didn't like really any of the trades last year. Yeah, they didn't sign anybody really. I mean, they signed Uche Ojulari, A.J. Dillon, Adoree Jackson, Kylan Granson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Sam Howell. They extended and retained Zach Bond. That was a good move.
Zach Bond. That's
a good one. Lane Johnson, Jordan Davis, and Saquon Barkley. Yeah, that's really not. It's really not doing it for me. There's not that much here. I'm not going to lie to you.
You know what? I'm not even going to put the bad. I'm just going to put the good here. So some February 9th.
That's a good question. This is something I should ask John because I don't. I mean, what am I missing here?
Jihad Campbell, Makuba, the signing of Jalen Phillips, and Zach Bond. Those are 4 things that they've done since February 9th when they won the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. 4 things.
I mean, Morty says Fred Johnson, but remember, Morty, they let him walk, and then they had to trade for him. They should have just paid him.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to give up a draft pick to get him because they let him walk out the door.
How come you think it's so, sense? How come you think it's so limited at things that, you know, before he was really proactive and bringing guys in and signing guys? Is this because the quarterback's money started kicking in and it limited him a little bit on what he could do? Because
I think that, but I think the bigger caveat there, Sills, is that they don't feel good enough yet to extend him. I mean, one of the reasons again that the Eagles are able to move the way they do is because when they're right on players, they can get way ahead of the market. They pay guys way early, and it gives them that extra flexibility. So if you have a player in the case of Jalen Hurts where the cap starts going up and you lose that confidence in him to give him another extension, it makes it a lot harder to operate because that cap all comes at once, you know? So they're losing some of that for sure. But Tank was a good trade. I think Tank was a good trade. I'm good with that.
Tank Bigsby.
But not like, I mean, that's not, if we have to pull that as a great move, I think we're reaching already pretty far.
So right now I got you here. And by the way, when I put that down on the list, it diminishes these other moves. Here, look at this. Jihad Campbell and Makuba draft. The signing of Jalen Phillips. The extension on Zach Bond. And Tank Bigsby as one of your best moves since February 9th of 2025. I mean, Howie's taking steps back, bro.
Dude, they're right on the fence, though. There's no like.
No. Maybe
no roster, is there?
Maybe the roster's dictating this. Okay, the roster could be dictating this. The salaries and the voids could also be dictating this too, Zander. Remember, the Eagles got like a shitload of money down the line and all this, and money owed and all this. I mean, look at this. If you lose Goddard tomorrow, right? Isn't there?
I think they're going to get it done.
Okay, probably so. I agree. But if he walks out the building, isn't there 13 a dead cap? If he walks out the buildings of Dallas Goddard money,
something like that. I don't know what the exact number is.
All the bonuses that he made, they got it would be something like $13 million, right?
Yeah, so I don't know what the exact number is.
Bro, when you start putting these kind of names up there, or Adoree Jackson, you're diminishing your offseason. That's not a move. That's that you're doing that. That's a scrap heap guy. Man, I'll tell you what. Do you think they're falling too much in love with their success of their draft picks? Because some of these guys, some are really good, some are not.
Well, they're not that in love with them. I mean, how many draft picks have they let walk?
we put together like a Super Bowl defensive football team.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Milton Williams was a 3rd-round pick. Why didn't they pay him? Josh Sweat was a draft pick.
Boy, would you like that now? Hey, would you like him back?
Yeah. Well, trading for him is different, but I mean, if you looking back, hindsight's always 20/20. But shit, does that deal look like a bargain or what?
that guy he's making $19 to $20 million. And you could have got that guy for $10 million less than what Phillips got with the Carolina Panthers, and he's a better player. That's a miss, right?
Yeah, it's a miss.
You think Milton's a miss?
Milton's a miss to not pay him, but I mean, I get why they didn't. Don't you get why they didn't? Yeah, so
same reason why they didn't pay Jalen.
No, I don't even know if it's that. I don't know if they were ever in the sweepstakes for Milton. Remember? Don't you remember Milton said it after the fact that they were never really in.
All right, I want to read one last thing to you here before we read some of our supers. Guys, please hit the like button. So I want to tell you a story here, and you tell me if you're buying the story or not. So I had a chance to talk to Robert Bailey, and this is how this thing got where it is, Zander. So on Friday, they had a negotiation deal worked out kind of in a way with Jalen Phillips, 27-5. Roseman was talking to Rosenhaus, and Rosenhaus goes, let me get back to you. Dan Morgan, the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, on Saturday, parachuted in and said, I'm going to give you an additional year, and I'm going to give you an additional $3.5 million to make it 30. Roseman calls with Robert Bailey, tells Howie, we got a team. Didn't name the team. We got a team that's interested in giving him the 4th year. And by the way, Howard Balzer's right. There's only like 3 guys that got 4 years, which is unprecedented in something like this.
Right.
We got 4 years, and Dan Morgan knew that was going to be the difference also in this contract because he got the 4th year. So he goes to Howie. Howie, according to Robert Bailey, he believes that Howie didn't believe the 4th year because nobody gives 4th years out. They gave him until 9 o'clock on Sunday. All of a sudden, here's what we were told. Harold Smith started getting word that the deal with Crosby, he's the agent for Trey Hendrickson. All of a sudden, Howie reached out to Harold Smith about Trey Hendrickson. The deal falls through over a Sunday night with Crosby. Howie gets on the horn with Harold Smith, according to Rosenhaus, starts negotiating with against the Colts. The Bucs only wanted to go 2 years. The Eagles, and it was obviously the Ravens. The Ravens overpaid the guy because they didn't want egg on their face over this whole Crosby deal. Howie got in that Trey Hendrickson deal on Monday afternoon, offered him basically the Jalen Phillips deal. And that came in at 27-5. He got 28 from the Ravens. Howie didn't have a plan because he didn't believe he was going to lose Phillips. Do you agree with that?
I don't know that I believe he didn't have a plan for losing him. We haven't seen it yet, but I have a hard time believing that. Do I believe that Howie made a balk at that? Yeah, wouldn't you have?
Yes.
I mean, think about it. Drew Rosenhaus calls him and says, my guy who's had
I wouldn't believe that.
A ruptured Achilles and a torn ACL in 2 of the last 3 years.
30.
Right. Is getting 30 in 4 years. I would have probably been like, God bless you. You're a good agent because that is crazy.
He got 30 APY also. And you're like, wait a minute here.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Howie for not doing that. Now, again, what I said when it happened, which I still think is the relevant question, is it's one thing to say the right to not pay it. That's fine. It's a whole nother thing, though, to replace the player. I don't know why fans get so caught up in dude, let the nerds, let Howie figure out how to pay people. I do agree. I probably wouldn't have went that far for Phillips either, but the football team didn't get better because of it. That's for sure. I think people conflate that like, oh, well, we made the right move to not pay somebody. So we're better. No, we're actually worse. We made a right decision and we got worse. How do we get better? That's the tough needle to thread.
Look at this.
Yeah, it did mean nothing to him. I remember him saying that.
That's because guess what? You meant nothing to that team.
I actually think Bryce Huff has a pretty smart brother.
Well, he'll need it.
Well, he's starting his own company. I think he's going to be fine. I don't root for people to fail in life.
No.
Yeah, I hope he has success with his new business. But, yeah, Yeah. He's funding that new business because of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. Hey, all right. So let's get to some of these supers, bro.
All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. My head is throbbing today. Sills, I got a headache. Ramir says his two best got us in the Super Bowl and won one. Barkley and AJ.
His two best.
Well,
Barkley's not the last 2 years, bro.
Yeah, the second extension of Barkley is after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's after the Super Bowl. Remember, I said, Ramir, from February 9th, when you won the Super Bowl to today, what have you done? Okay? Not the 25 offseason. I'm talking about
we're gonna have to educate Philadelphia here. He says, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 24, wasn't Sileo supposed to shave his head? I could have sworn he said, hey, Killer, that was for 2025 when the Eagles were bounced in round one, my friend.
And I said you'd be one and done.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Trigger says, what about the Chiefs? What have they done? How'd it work out? How'd it work out for them, Trigger?
Right. Hey, Trigger, what have they done? Nothing. And that's why they didn't make the playoffs. What have they done? Nothing.
Here's a SS. Will this new scheme help extend the line's health?
I
don't think so.
I'll tell you what.
The damage is already done.
When you're pass protecting versus knocking heads like that, dude, pass protecting offensive tackles last longer than run graders. I mean, I'll tell you what, man, the loss of Jason Kelsey starting to look a little bit more. Cam gave you 2 good ones. This guy gave you 7. This guy gave you 13 good ones. I mean, you know what I mean?
Here is Fart Holmes. I asked ChatGPT, there's 181 days left until week 1.
Okay. Good luck to you, man.
Reza says, will there be a Sill sighting at the JAKIB tailgate? It's a good question. It's a good question.
Look at him putting it on me. What the fuck does that mean? What are you putting that on me for?
I'll fly Sileo in. Here's Pingator. Aunt Betty's gonna call me and say, you are not putting my nephew in the streets of Philadelphia. He'll get the Howie Roseman beer can to the fucking dome.
Hey, man.
Here's Pingator. What's up, Pingator? Sills, did you see Vic Fangio interview with John Clark? Even he was surprised at how much money Phillips got, and he's a fan of his. He said Eagles made honest effort to keep him.
I know. By the way, I didn't say that Howie didn't make an honest effort. I think 3 years at 27.5. I think that's, I think that's large for a guy that's never been to a Pro Bowl. I mean, Zander, think about that. Dude, Shedeur Sanders made the fucking Pro Bowl.
Oh, we know why he made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, you didn't make the Pro Bowl, and you're getting 30 large annually.
East Coast says, damn, we can't say Jihad Dotson no more. Hope all is well, guys. What's up?
But I could say, what is it now? Is it Queasy Watkins back?
No, he's on the practice squad. You can't use him. I'm not hearing that. I don't want to hear that.
Queasy Watkins is back, man. Queasy Watkins. Hey, Sue, don't be shocked. I may do that.
Sill's not leaving the man cave. No way, Sue. No way. I've seen this guy leave his man cave 3 times in 5 years.
I'll tell you.
2 of them for his daughter, 1 of them for me, and he got paid to do it.
Oh, man, he's just totally thrown it.
I'm not mad at you for it. I'm not criticizing you for it. I understand. You want to be paid to leave the Dan cave. I get it.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I would like to be at that. I would like to get this. So the guys at SportsGrid want me to come in, and my wife hollered down. She goes, "You better put it first class in there because this guy ain't getting off his ass." And the guy goes like this because they want me to come into New York, and I'm going like this. Oh man,
I think they have a pretty kick-ass studio in New York.
It's at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, and so maybe you should come up and see me if I do come in. Okay,
I will.
All right.
New York City. I go up there and make a day of it. I want to go see my brother. He's moving into a new.
I'll do the show up there.
He's doing a new. My brother's moving into a new business building in April next month. My brother's kicking ass, man.
Wow, that's great. Great to hear, bro. Great to hear. Is that it?
I think we got all the supers, yeah.
Guys, great stuff today, man.
Look,
Hey,
here's Preston. He's right. Phil's is a smart businessman. Pay me to show my face. Preston, I know it. I get it.
Wait a minute. He does. He knows it as well as anybody. Get this. I asked Boomer Esiason this question. I go, hey, Boomer, how much do you charge like when you – he goes, I don't leave my driveway for less than 10 grand. Boomer goes like this. I don't leave my driveway for less than 10 grand.
I'm going to have to up those $100 tickets to $200 tickets now. All right. We're going to have to go back to everybody who bought a $100 ticket. We need an extra 100 if you want a big sales to come in.
Hey, hey, how are we doing on that? Did we get them all sold out?
I think we have 8 left still.
Come on, guys.
Though, yeah.
How can you not be on that, man? That's a great deal, dude.
Well, yeah, we filled them up, and then a couple people don't answer when the old alligator arms. So
yeah, the alligator arms.
Like when the check comes at the dinner table, the
forgot
loudest guy who talked the whole time at the dinner at the steakhouse. He's either at the bathroom or he's distracted. The check comes and the alligator arms, they can't reach. They can't reach. I've always been the guy that just bails out the alligator arm people. So
you should have seen it when Zander checked me into the hotel at Oceans, man. He's dropping cards and doing this, and I'm like, yes, sir, baby.
I was quick to ask that. You had a good room there.
Oh my God. And then I get in my room and the dude, Zach, who, by the way, still stays in touch with me, man. He says he watches the show all the time. He goes like that. So I go in my room. There's a 6-pack of Heineken's in there. I was like,
they probably charged that to my card. You just didn't even know it.
Z, keep up the great work. You guys are kicking ass, man, on that.
We've had a good week on JAKIB, man. It's been a good week.
Yep, it really has. Really good stuff.
Good times. I hope the Eagles make some good moves to put themselves in a better position.
I don't think they got her back tomorrow.
I think that would be a good sign. I think that would be a good thing. I mean, I'd be happy with that, but I still feel like I know a lot of people tell me, "Oh, the Xander's still going to believe they're." I still feel in my heart, and I know they're not doing the things necessarily to be there right now, but I still feel that this core has another run in them. I don't feel like this core is done. I really don't. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I feel like with the right moves, this is still a core that can make a run, but they got to make the right moves around them to prop that window open. And I don't know that I've seen those moves yet, dude.
But I'm going to tell you one thing that I will give Howie Roseman credit for. He is going to take swings until something hits. He took swings all last year, and he was striking out until he got to Phillips. And by the way, at the end of the day, the Adoree Jackson deal kind of looked better. Okay? Well, Xander's coming with me there.
Where?
To New York if I come into town. I got to decide if I'm going to do it yet.
Yeah. I'll call Mike and tell him you better up your number. I got a call after SportsGrid tomorrow. We're trying to work on something with the JAKIB website. They want to syndicate some of our articles. So
that's
call
great.
With, Daniel with them tomorrow. So
that's fantastic. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys this. I would never have worked at SportsGrid if it wasn't for JAKIB, because JAKIB introduced me to those guys. Remember when we were over at the casino?
Yeah, I remember.
Was working like a maniac over there.
4 or 5 in the morning. You saw what goes on behind the scenes.
No shit.
A lot of shit that goes behind the scenes that people don't realize.
Man. His old man was working like a massive crazy man over there. And he goes like this, I want you to meet this guy. By the way, he goes like this to Mike Cardano. He goes, hey, I've been telling you about this guy for 2 years now. He's been basically telling him about for 4 years. And finally, Mike goes like this the other day. He goes, I can't believe what I'm watching. And I go, well, I mean, the Krauses have been telling me.
I don't want to crap on anybody, but yeah, I'm not surprised they're impressed with your talent.
Yeah. And I go, but they've been telling you that. And he goes, yeah, but I go, dude, just say whatever you want, man. Those guys.
I don't want to go glaze mode here, but I will a little bit. I don't think people give, I don't think people realize how hard it is to just roll camera and talk for 4 hours of sports every day for the entire year. I don't think people understand that. I really don't. I don't think people have
shows.
Huh?
236 shows.
I know. It's been 5 years, and I've never seen even as much as 30 seconds of your program where you didn't know where to go. And so I hope people realize that it's not easy. Why don't you do it? You don't even have anybody listening. Start up a YouTube channel. You don't even need a subscriber, and just run your camera and see how much you can talk for. Try 30 minutes, let alone 4 hours, and then do that every day.
Hey, Bet, guess what? He's such a likable guy. He's the same dude here.
I don't have my truck anymore. I don't know if you're gonna fit in the vet.
Ooh, the vet.
The other truck, my dad's got a little Canyon right now. That thing is tiny, dude. I had the big old Husky Ram 1500 when I picked you up. I fucking missed that truck so much.
Especially in the snow, right?
That truck was so kick-ass, dude. That truck was kick-ass.
This guy had a gigantic engine. He had a V12 in that bitch, and this thing was just a
Hemi. Thing was nice, but all right, brother. I'll catch you, man.
I'll catch you in the morning. Love you, Big Z.
Later, dude. Love you too, man. Thanks.
Gotcha, man. That's our boy.